Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. That's it for today's video. The beer's courtesy of Billy. Thanks so much, Billy. I really appreciate it. It's Tuesday, and Tuesdays I try to test my palate, drink something outside my norm, blah, 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 blah. The best way to test my palate, or any palate, is to do something completely blind, which is what I'm doing today. I have no idea. He lives in California. It's a 12-ounce can, and the top looks like that. There's nothing on the bottom. I don't recognize that as a common brewery doing that. So I'm really you got the black pull tab, but the design's a little different. I don't know. I got nothing. No hunches. Let's get into it. I probably shouldn't have been so aggressive, but we'll see. All right. It's not a very full fill. Interesting. Yeah, it was noticeably down in the can a little bit. All right, but doesn't seem to have affected anything because it's got plenty of carbonation. It's like 2 fingers ahead. It's a nice orange color, a lot of bubbles. Man, just looking at it, I could see West Coast IPA. I could see maybe some sort of wild ale. It doesn't look like a stout. Looks like it could be a West Coast, right? Like IPA, but doesn't look like a New England style IPA. So yeah, I don't know. Curious. Man, super carbonated. Let's get into the aroma. There's a sweet, caramel breadiness to it, with a little bit of a minerality. It's almost like toasted bread doughiness. Man, this has a really familiar. It's got a little bit of a fruity ester thing too. Big caramel, sweet, caramelized sugar note for sure. Okay, so far I'm not really landing on anything. See what the taste. Cheers, Billy, and I hope you're enjoying yourself, my man. Okay, so this is interesting. It's got that sweetness. It's got the caramelized sugar stuff going. Almost a little bit of a sweet cherry, not quite plum, fruitiness. But there's an acidity to it also towards the finish. It's unlike any beer I've had, certainly in recent memory. Billy did this on purpose, clearly. A little Belgian-y, maybe. Yeah, maybe it's You know what kind of reminds me of, now that I've landed maybe on Belgian a little bit, is I don't think this beer is what I'm about to say. Trogs has that Mad Elf, and then they do one called Naked Elf that doesn't have the cherries. I don't think it has a honey in it. I think it's no adjuncts, just their base Belgian style. I don't know if it's a Tripel or what specifically, but it kind of has that. Man, this is a trip and a half. ABV, I don't really taste any alcohol, so this could be, especially if it is, because if it is some sort of Belgian style beer, sometimes those can really hide alcohol. Man, yeah, this is throwing me for a loop. Dried banana a little bit. I know that's tart, slightly acidic thing in the finish. In terms of adjuncts, those fruits I mentioned, maybe, I definitely could see a beer naturally getting those fruit flavors, but maybe an addition of those fruits, but it doesn't drink particularly adjuncted to me. With anything, I think you could achieve these flavors with just the 4 core ingredients for beer. All right, so I'm gonna go Belgian style. I mean, it doesn't look like a golden or anything. It's a little dark to be a Tripel, but I'll say a golden style or a Belgian style like triple. Maybe about 7% alcohol. I could see it being a little higher because I am getting a little bit of like warming in the chest. I'm gonna bump that up to 8%. And I don't think there's any adjuncts in it. Slight tea note. I don't know. Yeah, this is a fun one. But yeah, I don't feel super confident either just going into this. But this is a fun one. Yeah, a little banana, almost like bubblegummy. All right. Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't like too crazy far off, but I didn't nail it either. So it's Timber Beast from Gaipo Jippo Ale Mill, California's most remote brewery. It's an American quad ale aged in red wine barrels. So, when I think of a Belgian style quad, they're darker than this by, at least a few shades. But like, I can see that. So like, I laid it on the Belgian quality. I feel good about it. That acidic thing, and I'm curious people watching what their take will be. I mentioned that cherry, maybe almost plum acidic thing. My mind didn't go to wine, but that's clearly what I was tasting. So like, I feel pretty good about that. Feel good about the Belgian. I went bigger, like triple, not quad. Some of that was due to the color, like I said. So yeah, I feel pretty good. ABV, I don't feel good at all. 12%. If anyone from the brewery is watching this, well done. Does not drink like 12%. All right. Let's see. California grown and malted barley. Yep. Wheat, dark Belgian candy sugar, and a long boil give this beer a complex scoop of caramel dipped dried figs and tart cherries. I mean, how many times I use the word caramel and cherries? Didn't say figs, to be fair. Fermented with a blend of Belgian and West Coast yeast to a noble 12%. This is incredible. It's 12%. Further aged for 9 months in red wine barrels. I'll go in for another sip. I didn't get oak, so I'm really curious now that I know that to see if I taste oak and missed it. And it was red wine barrel specifically, which I'm not surprised about based on the fruit notes and the acidity I was saying. Burly, beautiful, and bold to be sipped and studied. I mean, yeah, it is a tasty beer. Actually, no point did I say that, right? Yeah, I mean, let me look for that oak thing. I wouldn't say oak. There is an interesting drying character towards the end, which could be the barrel aging, the oak. But I don't get oak specific. All right, so here's the score I'm going to give myself. Way off on the ABV. This also hides the ABV really well. Knew it was Belgian. I said cherries, they said cherries. I said caramel. How many times they said caramel? I got the fruity, acidic thing, which red wine barrels makes perfect sense. Even though I know it's oaked, I don't taste oak. You have whatever opinion you want of that. Me, I'm not gonna hold that against myself because I still don't taste it knowing it's there. I'm gonna say B, a very solid B. How about you guys? What do you think how I did on this? But yeah, way off on the ABV, but it does hide it. Billy, you let me know if you've had this beer. What were your thoughts? Did you think it hit the ABV well? Did you get oak in this? What tasting notes did you get? People, have you had this beer before? And also, again, everyone, how do you think I did? What would you give me for a score? Comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.